Hello, and welcome to this Hello2You website tutorial. This video will provide you with a step-by-step guide on how to navigate your way around the Hello2You website and begin working on your own Hello2You project. Feel free to pause the video throughout and work through it at your own pace. I suggest opening this video in a separate tab so that you can pause the video on one tab and then find the things you need on the website on another. This website is not designed to be a manufactured product, but something that is accessible for all. It is filled with tutorial videos and easy to access documents to help you with completing your own project, or even just changing one small aspect of your practice. So let's get started. The first tab on the site is titled Hello2You. This tab is our home page and gives you a bit of written information about the project. It also contains an interview with Professor Helen Bilton from the University of Reading and Miranda White from Reading Borough Council, both of whom worked on the project. If you haven't already, I seriously suggest you watch this video, as it gives you more detail about the project, how it came about, and how it could be used in your setting. For more information about the project can also be found by clicking here. This is where you can find a printable about the project document that looks like this. So after visiting the home page, you will next need to visit the Carrying Out the Project tab. This is where you found the video you are currently watching. This page is where you'll find all your information about carrying out your own project. This will either be through this video, or it could be from the project guide, which can be seen here. You can access this guide either by clicking here, or by clicking on the image of the guide. It'll take you through to a printable PDF version of the guide, in which there is information about the project. This is the same as you saw in the previous tab. There is also a step-by-step guide to completing the project, and our 3 gap task checklists. We will get into more detail about what gap tasks are later in the video. I suggest pausing the video at this point so that you can go and print the document now. That way you have an overview of how the project should look, and you can begin to see how the website works alongside it. An overview of how the project will work is this. The project chooses 3 areas in which settings would make changes to their practice. These 3 areas were environments, parents, and practitioners. Each term, our settings would focus on one of these areas and would complete a gap task on them. This gap task was designed to change their practice in this area. More details on each gap task will be delivered later in the tutorial. Each setting collected information and evidence of the changes from their gap task and put them all in an A3 scrapbook. To measure the progress made by children, staff and parents, the project implemented a number of different measures. Run-through picture scales, baseline prime data, and case studies measured the overall progress of children before and after the project. We also use ITAs and ECAs scales for the environment gap task, parent surveys for the parent gap task, and a practitioner survey for the practitioner's gap task. More information on all of these measures will be found later in the tutorial. So let's go into more detail about the 3 areas focused on in the project. Each area has its own tab on the top of our screen, here is the enabling environments, partnership with parents, and skilled practitioners. We're going to use the partnership with parents section as an example, but as you can see, all three sections look and are exactly the same. So you have four options for each focus. You can either click on the initial tab, as I could do here, or you can choose an option from the drop-down menu. We're going to start by clicking the initial tab. On this page, we have a quote from one of the settings that took part in the project. As well as this, there is information about the importance of creating a strong partnership with parents at your setting. This is the same on the Enabling Environments and Skilled Practitioners tab, as I will show you now. Also on the page are a number of statements coloured in red. These will link you to other useful tabs or documents. For example, this link takes us to a presentation delivered at our conference. The next tab we will visit is our Gap Task tab. When it comes to completing your project, the Gap Task tabs will become very important. On this page, we have another tutorial specific to the task. It is similar to the video you are currently watching and takes you through the task step by step. These tutorial videos are available for each task. Below the tutorial are the documents needed for each task, including the survey previously mentioned and the checklist for the task. This checklist is also available in the HELLO2YOU guide, which you will hopefully have already printed. There are more useful links for each gap task at the bottom of the page. All three gap task pages will look the same and are designed to be easy to use. Back to our drop-down menu, we next find the Measures page. This page will go into more detail about how progress from each gap task will be measured. This task and the Skilled Practitioners task used a survey, like this one, whilst the Enabling Environments Measures page goes into more detail about ECHA's measures, which were used for this task. Finally, we have the Results tab, in which you can find a selection of the improvements recorded by our settings. These tabs highlight the success each setting has had from taking part in the project and shows you how much improvement you could see from doing your own project. I won't go into too much detail on this section, but make sure you have a look at the statistics and quotes from those who have been running their own projects. As I mentioned, all three areas will look very similar and contain similar content. Make sure to look through the pages and utilise the documents and videos on offer. So up next is the Child Measures tab, which again has its own drop-down menu. First, we will click on the Child Measures page, which gives us a bit more information about what child measures are. It also gives us links to each of the measures used. Of course, you can also find these links in our drop-down menu, which I'm going to use now. So firstly, we have the Run Through Picture Test tab. This test is a way in which to measure children's academic improvement across the project. This tab gives you more details about the test, a link to buy the test, and some statistics showing you how by using the test, how much children have improved between the start and the end of the project. Next, we have the Raw Baseline Data tab. You are likely to have a system like this already in place in your setting, so this tab explains how the settings on the project use their baseline data to measure improvement in their children throughout the project. And finally, we have the Case Studies tab, in which we have a number of examples of settings case studies from the project, as well as a blank proforma to carry out your own. Make sure to look at each of our settings case studies to see what they recorded. It will also give you useful tips on what to look out for on your project. Our Conference tab is filled with information from the HELLO2YOU conference, which was held on the 13th of July 2017. Hosting your own conference at the end of your project is a great way to celebrate all the successes you have had, and also inspire others to carry out their own project. And this tab will give you information on how to go about hosting one. It also has all the presentations delivered at the conference, so make sure to have a look at these. Our Acknowledgements tab has information about the members of the HELLO2YOU team, as well as information about each setting that took part in the project. Links to each of their websites can be found by clicking their name, like so. Finally, we have our Contact Us page. All of us at HELLO2YOU would love to hear from you, whether that is with questions about the project or to tell us about the success of your own project. You can do this by emailing Helen or Miranda on their email addresses here, or by leaving a comment on the website in the comment box here. You may have noticed a number of buttons down the side of each page on our website. These are called widgets and they do the following things. We have a search bar, which means you can search for a specific thing on our website. For example, if I typed in Renfrew and hit the search button, we are given several locations you can find information on the Renfrew picture test. The second button on our site is the Follow button, in which if you press it, you'll be able to follow the website and get regular updates on things that have been updated on the site. Below this is the YouTube button. If you click on this, you'll go straight to our YouTube page. On our page, we have all of our gap task tutorial videos, which can be found in the HELLO2YOU information playlist. And we also have all the videos created by our settings for the Skilled Practitioners gap task, which can be found in the Skilled Practitioner Clips playlist. Finally, we have a number of photos down the side of our website. Mainly these are from the conference, but these will be regularly updated. And there you have it. You should now have a good understanding of the project and how to use the website. We would be very grateful if you could share our site with colleagues or friends. An easy way to do this is by scrolling down to the bottom of the HELLO2YOU tab and clicking on one of the social media buttons. Before we finish, it is important to note that this website will be continuously evolving, with more documents being added and changes being constantly made, so it is likely that pages may currently look different to how they do in this video. However, this is a guide to getting you started with the website, and the tab names and locations of key documents will not change. I hope you have found this tutorial informative, and from everyone at the HELLO2YOU project, Thank you for watching.